Hello everybody, welcome to this beautiful evening in Big Apple. Yes. We are here tonight to celebrate the 2019 Abolitionist Last Girls Awards. We will be honouring leaders who have joined the movement to end sex trafficking globally. We honour them because they help Up fulfill its mission to live in a world in which no human being is bought or sold. We hope this evening will inspire you too, thank you, and that you will meet someone. I'm gonna love you all night. Hopefully you will meet someone who can change your world. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Mona Sinha, Up Advisory Board member, longtime supporter and friend to the stage. Mona.
Good evening. I'm happy to welcome you to this amazing gathering. Today, as you all know, is the International Day of the Girl. So let's take a minute to think about what that means. We have girls all over the world that don't have the opportunities that our own kids do. Many girls, even in the US, that go through tremendous hardships. Everyone thinks this is the land of the dreams, right? The land where everyone can achieve what they want, but it's not always that way. Now, so our mission really is to have a world where no girl is sold or bought. And that's a pretty big mission. It should seem pretty obvious to everyone in this room that that shouldn't happen. But the reality is it does. It happens every day. It happens under our nose. It happens in cities around this country. But we have, like every other business, there's spikes and lulls. And big spikes are during big sports events. Women get trafficked during the Super Bowl in increasing numbers. And this is what we have to stop. So we work in Calcutta a lot and in parts of India. The work isn't sexy, I'm here to tell you that. And I often get asked by funders, well, when can we scale? When can we make this a big thing? And you know what, the reality is this is not something that's scalable, because you're working with people's lives. And you're working one person at a time, one girl at a time. So in Calcutta, just to tell you a little bit about what we do work with the women, and we have to do it kind of undercover. So we set up these centers, which we tell the pimps and johns that they're just there for them to relax. Well, guess what? When they come in there, the last thing they do is relax. Because we organize them in groups of 10, and we tell them what their rights are, which they don't know. And we also help them to get things like ration cards and ID cards and things that they just have no way of accessing. So it's really not sexy work. It's really basic human rights stuff. And the other thing we do is we take the girls and we put them in school. And what we found over the years is when we put them in local schools, they tend to get back into the same cycle of being trafficked as their mothers were. And so we worked very hard to get them into boarding schools around the country. And that has paid out in spades. But, it was a lot of stigma and a lot of overcoming those issues when we approached the schools and asked them to take these girls.
I'm so pleased and so emotionally attached to this evening to be able to welcome you to share this evening with me. It's been a long journey for me, as many of you know, who have been associated with me, like Mona, like Dorchen, like Tina, Simone, so many others, Nandana, people in the room who have seen me struggle from trying to start Apne when I was just a journalist and a documentary filmmaker. I'd made a documentary called The Selling of Innocence on the trafficking of girls from the villages of Nepal. And the making of the documentary changed my life. This was 25 years ago. I had grown up with privilege. I had never seen the inside of a police station, let alone a brothel. But because I began to look where the girls were disappearing from the villages of Nepal and found them in Bombay and spoke to their mothers and to the women who had been brought in as girls, I wanted to do something about it. And I said, okay, I would be happy to do it, but I said the struggle is as much yours as mine, because we all are linked, not ranked, and we have to do it together, because one person's loss of freedom means another person's loss of freedom eventually. And I reminded them of the time inside the brothel when I was filming, when they had actually somebody had pulled out a knife at me and tried to stop me from filming, and 22 women who were mothers of children in the brothels surrounded me and said that if you want to kill her, you've got to kill us first, because we want to tell our stories, we want to break our silence, because we feel enough is enough and we want to save our daughters from the same destiny that we had to undergo. And they saved me. So I reminded them of that moment and I said, we have to organize in a circle as women to fight for our rights together in solidarity. And that's how Apne Aap was born, in that moment. And that is why it is called Apne Aap. Apne Aap literally means self-action in Hindi. And it also is based on the principle of the mandala. The mandala means a circle. And the first circle was, of course, inside the brothel in Bombay. But we decided to form Apne Aap as many mandalas. At that time, we didn't know how big Apne Aap would become.
Every day the world ponders the magic of what vaginas do. Every day women carry people into being, and every day, even on the most petrifying day, I stand grateful I was born bloody snatch in just the right place. Today, I'm so grateful I was born a girl, especially since yesterday. Yesterday my mother told me, go ahead and write your story.
We're ready to begin the Last Girl Awards ceremony. These awards are presented to leaders who are multifaceted and courageous. They apply their resources around them, their time, and their skills to not only advance us in our struggle to end sex trafficking, but they do so in such creative and exemplary ways. It is so inspiring to watch them transform activism in their respective industries. We must honour them and share this with the world as they define what it means to be a modern-day abolitionist. Our first honoree of the night is Zoe Blue Seidel. We present you with the Last Girl Cultural Change Award. Zoe.
Honoring me today. I honor you and the work that this organization does. It's truly inspirational. I think after we first met years ago, you got the wheels turning within me, and here I am today, and thank you.
Simone studied the system of prostitution and its supply chain, worked to understand who key parties involved are and how they function within the system. She used knowledge to build solutions on combating trafficking in a strategic way. We celebrate her achievements. Simone shows how persistence yields results. She has truly forged a new path in a cause to end sex trafficking. We recognize your revolutionary work, Simone, and we honor how you lend your expertise in law to support our mission. We are filled with joy to present you with the Last Girl Leadership Award. Simone.
Thank you, Sharon Apne Aap, for this most meaningful award. When I was 13, I was adjudicated an incorrigible minor by the state of New York. I remain proudly one today. Were it not for advantages I benefited from early in life, I could have been among those girls that Apne Aap seeks to help today. My work has always been and will always be inspired and informed by survivors. When I joined the UN 20 years ago to become a war crimes prosecutor, I learned that listening closely to survivors was the key to being effective and ensuring justice was done.
Essie Johnson sponsored the creation of the film Love, Sonia, a film that has moments from Ruchira's life and highlights the survivor stories of Apne Aap women and children. The company has also sponsored Apne Aap over the years. The open demonstration of allyship has contributed to removing stigma on the issue and raised consciousness and public awareness to our cause unlike ever before. For this, we honor Fis. He is the face and representation of a dignified, long-withstanding company. We recognize that taking on such a position is no easy task. Visca set an example for what the rest of corporate America should be doing. He is showing his belief in a world in which no woman or girl is bought or sold. He is showing his belief in equal rights for women.
Thank you so much for those kind words, and thank you, Michelle and Apney for this incredibly generous honor. You know, I thank you, but I honestly feel a little bit intimidated up here by this incredibly generous honor, because I consider the many more significant contributions of the honorees here tonight that have made to this important cause. And if I were completely transparent, well, you know, I was obviously very aware of the human trafficking issue and how tragic it is. It really wasn't completely on my radar screen to do anything about, at least until a friend of mine in Los Angeles brought to my attention a particular way that we could help. And that's how we got involved in the movie Love, Sonia. What's different about this cause that's brought us together tonight is this. It is so much more raw, so much more immediate, so much more human than most areas where corporations try to make a difference. You know, the plight of these young girls, the abuse that they endure, the utter devastation they must feel, it's so personal and intimate in a human sense. It's gut-wrenching and emotional. And I'll tell you what the movie did for me. It made me realize that human trafficking is not an issue like so many others that we deal with. It's about a human being, a girl who has had her innocence, her freedom, her young humanity ripped from her. And as a father, I cannot even begin to comprehend what motivates someone to trade a daughter for money, knowing she might get caught up in the trafficking ring.
The end of your reign is certain. We will break your violent cycle. We have already found voice. Be advised that we are coming. Be advised that we are marching. Be advised that we are women roaring. Consider yourself notified, motherfucker, of this intent to take back the night.
We honor Rosanna with the Last Girl Cultural Inspiration Award for her continued support to end trafficking and promote gender equality. Rosanna.
As Rosanna comes on the stage, I just want to mention something very special about Rosanna. She has courage and she fights fiercely, but she also has empathy, and she's very intuitive, and she recognizes when something needs to be done and jumps in. I met Rosanna a long time ago in Los Angeles, which is one of the cities where Love, Sonia is based in. And we both spoke about the scale of the problem from Calcutta to New York to Los Angeles. And she became a fierce fighter, and you see how much of a fighter she is and how contagious her courage is when you meet her daughter Zoe. So thank you, Rosanna, for your wonderful friendship, support, leadership.
I'm proud to honor the tremendous spirit, Ruchira Gupta, and her lifelong commitment to women's rights and abolishing sex trafficking. Ruchira recognizes that a female tribe is the strongest and fiercest kind of tribe. She has opened our eyes, including mine, to the countless women and girls around the world who have been sold into slavery, that in 2019, human trafficking is happening everywhere, right here in our country, the land of the free. Let's hold on to that freedom. As women, we must speak louder for our voices to be heard, whether it's through education, advocacy, filmmaking, poetry, art, or journalism. What was once silence became a whisper. Soon what was a whisper became a choir. Injustice calls for us to create a new language together, to give a voice to the voiceless, to shine a light in the darkest corners of our humanity. It beckons us to act, to help others in need, and to be a sister to all women.
Let the Last Girl Changemaker Award be a symbol of how much we value you and how much we support your journey.
I would like to thank God of my life. And from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank to the founder of APNIA, Ruchira Gupta, and also who are here, the leaders, outstanding leaders, advocates in the front line to combat human trafficking, Gloria, Simon, Taina, Dorchen, and many other people that I cannot and I don't mention. I'm thinking about the Last Girl Award for me and for other people. Actually, it's driven me to go up the world to put the girls on top of priority. Why? Why? Anybody want to answer? Let me give you my answer then. We don't really think about the girls. We don't really think about what they need. We don't really think. And most of the time, society don't give girls opportunity. Lack of education, lack of empowerment, and lack of leadership. And the girl need all of them. So do I. Day by day, I cannot stop thinking how I create a safety environment for the girls and peace in this universe. It's supposed to start from myself, from me, because I'm a change maker.
Our final honoree is Nandara Sen, who will be receiving the Last Girl Champion Award. She is an award-winning actor, writer, author, and child rights activist. What is so beautiful about her is that activism has been a focus of hers since her school days in Kolkata and has become a pillar that we see in her life and career.
Thank you so much, all of you, for being here today to celebrate and support the path-breaking work of APNIA women worldwide. And all my thanks to the amazing women and girls of the APNIA team and its visionary and relentless leader, my friend Ruchira Gupta. This is a very sweet and special encouragement for all of us to keep doing what we love to do. I feel humbled to be in the same room and the same stage as the activists, survivors, artists, pioneers, and warriors who are here today. I must say that the greatest honor of my life has been the opportunity, the privilege to be able to work on the ground with incredibly resilient children and with the fearless grown-ups who keep them safe and help them grow. These are children who fight with the hardest of circumstances, children who have been abandoned, trafficked, brutalized, incarcerated, hospitalized, ostracized, and yet they emerge with stunning spirit and strength. The lessons that I learned from these kids sustain me and give me hope every day of my life.
The solution to sex trafficking lies in the voices of the human beings it hits the hardest. As a writer, my dream is that someday no human being will be bought or sold, and that no girl or woman ever fades into the background or becomes another statistic of what happens when we don't take action. Silence is a powerful weapon that is used by one human being to make another human being their slave. Silence blinds and deafens us. Silence is injustice. I'm here today on behalf of millions of girls my age who are bought, sold, and abused, and whose traffickers made them invisible to me and to you. When I was younger, I was frustrated by the realities of girls like Asma. I would say to myself, someday I'm going to make a difference, or maybe when I'm a bit older, or I'll start tomorrow. But I realized that starting tomorrow means that we never have a chance to achieve anything today. 270 women and girls go missing in India every single day. That means that in this hour alone, 11 more women and girls are no longer with their families, no longer receiving an education, no longer free from the chains of sex slavery, child marriage, or adolescent pregnancies. Although I hope to one day pursue a career in women's health, at this moment I don't even have a college degree. I'm just a girl with a pen and a set of eyes and ears, and I think that's all we need to have to make a big difference. The last girl is a young woman who's invisible, who needs someone who can see beyond what lies on the surface, someone who's willing to take a risk and look deeper and listen to her story. That's why I'm so inspired by the work of Apne Aap.
I want to thank all of you. Thank you so much. So as a high school student, interning at Apne Aap this summer opened up my perspective in many ways. As our honoree Simone mentioned, social media is a tool for traffickers to recruit girls, but this can be a transformative tool for us, one that can lead our movement. This is an example of what we would teach high school and university students. We want to teach youth in America how to combat trafficking using the skills that our current times have given them through social media. By spreading Apne Aap's cause and forming clubs stemming from the youth, we can enact unstoppable change. The last girl is everywhere, but so are we.
And I urge you all, you've heard about the stories of girls in Apne Aap, you've heard Chandra make an appeal on behalf of last girls everywhere. You've heard Fisk talk about the responsibility that we can all play and how we can do things to help the last girl. You've heard Simone, you've heard everybody, Rosanna, and of course the wonderful Zoe, who actually had the courage to speak up because somewhere in her heart, she knew that her speaking up would help some other little girl somewhere else. So I urge all of you to support us, help us. Everything that you donate counts. We can put one more girl like Juhi through school. We can help one more girl like Pakhi recite another poem, play nursery rhymes with someone like Nandana. We can help one more campaign which will stop men from buying sex. We can tie another wristband to another world leader saying cool men don't buy sex. But for all of it, even the wristband costs 10 cents. A school education costs $1,000. Putting a trafficker in jail takes years and years of testimonies, courts, lawyers, transport, legal documents. So there's a lot of work that we have to do behind all of this, and all of it requires that we get the money. So I am here shamelessly asking you all to donate.